WWE matches usually end in a decisive victory. Either you win by pinfall or submission. Every now and then you get your occasional disqualifications and you get your occasional countouts. Today we're going to take a look at a few creative finishes to WWE matches that you may have forgot about or that I just want to reminisce on. Hey, as always, if you're going to enjoy the video, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn the post notification bell so you won't miss any more videos, and let's jump straight into this. Keep in mind, none of these are in any particular order. I'm just listing the ones that I remember. Royal Rumble 1999. This one saw The Rock versus Mankind in an I Quit match. Now this match was fire. This is probably one of the most brutal I Quit matches ever. The Rock and Mankind just had the best chemistry ever, especially during this time. And this was the early stages of The Rock, of course. Mankind was in that exiting stage, really. But hey, this was a good damn match, and I know you probably remember it. What was so iconic about this match is what led to the finish of the match. Now, I'm not going to talk about the build-up. I'm not going to talk about all that. Otherwise, this video will be long. And this for all of them. I'm not going to talk about that. But we are going to talk about the finish to this match. The Rock beat Mankind ass. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, he really beat his ass. Mankind never said, "I quit." The Rock was creative for what he did. He held the mic to Mankind, who was face down on the floor. And a pre-recorded tape saw Mankind, heard Mankind say, "I quit." However, Mankind never quit. This was a funny victory. And in fact, it didn't kill the momentum of the match. It didn't even kill the end of the match. In fact, nobody got buried because of this finish at all. This was a creative finish and a very, very, very monumental victory. And I'm not gonna lie, we're still talking about it 25 years later. So clearly, this match was fire. And clearly, the finish was there. This one is fairly new. Money in the Bank 2023. Io Sky. She handcuffed Bayley to Becky. And I'm not gonna lie, that was fire. This Money in the Bank was very good in my opinion. I enjoyed it. I just loved how brutal Becky and Trish was being towards each other. Zoe Stark also had her hand in there. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about Zoe Stark, but hey, she's a great talent. Don't care. She just don't have. This match was very memorable. However, it was more memorable for the creative finish of the match. The ending saw Io Sky handcuffing Bayley, who was her Damage Control leader at this point. They were still intertwined with Damage Control, handcuffing her to Becky. And then we saw Io stepping on the shoulders of Bayley to then cash and grab the Money in the Bank briefcase. That pop at the end after Io won was crazy, not gonna lie. Night of Champions 2023. This was another recent one. This was when Asuka faced Bianca Belair for the Women's Championship. Now, Asuka had just came back and clearly she was heel, right? She was heel. And this gimmick that she came back with saw a familiar New Japan Pro style of Asuka. And we were all enjoying it. We were there for it. We loved it. We enjoyed it. The face paint, the attitude, the character work. The wrestling still stayed the same, but we enjoyed it. The match was otherwise solid. These two have great chemistry. They've put on matches and great matches at that before. WrestleMania 39, they fought plenty of times and they have delivered every single time. But this match was pretty creative towards the end. Bianca Belair had Asuka in the KOD and Asuka spit the mist into her hands and rubbed it into Bianca Belair's eyes, causing Bianca to be blinded prematurely. Asuka would then capitalize and win the match. Yeah, that was pretty creative, not gonna lie. Kind of clever, really clever. I would have done the same. Backlash 2007. This saw John Cena defending his WWE Championship in a fatal 4-way against Rated R KO Randy Orton, Edge, and Shawn Michaels. This was probably one of the greatest fatal 4-ways of all time. I encourage you to go back and rewatch it. This match hit, and it delivered cinema. The match was pretty solid. No need to get into all the theatricals and all the technicalities of it. But the finish is what got people. In the end, it was a barrage of different finishes. Everybody got to hit their signature finishing moves. Shawn Michaels, however, Sweet Chin Music John Cena, who fell back and landed on, I believe, Randy Orton. And the referee counted 3. Shawn got up and tried to stop the pin. However, he didn't expect John Cena to land perfectly back on Randy Orton, who he then counted 3 for. John Cena accidentally retained his WWE Championship. Extreme Rules 2009. This saw the Rated R superstar Edge take on Jeff Hardy in a ladder match. This match delivered and provided a lot of iconic and memorable spots that we later go back and still rewatch. However, the finish is what caught everybody's attention, and it was clever and it was funny, not gonna lie. Edge had apparently got the better hand on Jeff Hardy, and he was climbing the ladder to go ahead and unhook the championship. Jeff gets up, Jeff grabs Edge's legs through the ladder, right, from underneath the ladder, and he pulls them in until Edge is pretty much hanging from the chest and back on the ladder. Like, look at this graphic. Jeff then looks at him and he goes and he unhooks the World Heavyweight Championship. And that pop was good. At this time, Jeff was super over at this time and everybody loved it. Great finish, creative as hell. Clash of Champions 2020. This was during the Thunderdome era. This was when Sami Zayn took on Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles in a triple threat ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. Sami Zayn was the clever guy this entire match. Everybody else was just wrestling. Sami was levels above this. He was levels above everyone that match. Sami handcuffed Jeff Hardy's ear to a ladder. Like, I cannot make that up. He handcuffed his ear to a ladder, making things extremely difficult for Jeff Hardy, clearly. He then handcuffed himself to AJ Styles so that AJ Styles cannot climb and retrieve the title, which makes sense, but that also means he couldn't climb up there and retrieve the title, or does it? Sami Zayn takes out a key and he uncuffs himself, leaving AJ Styles still handcuffed, who wasn't even occupied on Sami Zayn at the time. Sami then runs up, climbs up, grabs the Intercontinental Championship. Like, do you remember that? That was pretty clever. Focusing again on the 2009 Extreme Rules, saw John Cena take on a familiar foe in Batista in a last man standing match for the WWE Championship. Batista was whooping John's ass pretty much the whole match. In the end, John Cena took out some duct tape and he tied up the animal's legs together underneath the turnbuckle so that Batista couldn't even stand up. Like, yeah, last man standing. This dude couldn't stand. So clearly, he lost, making this one of the most creative finishes in WWE. WrestleMania 20. Now, WrestleMania 20 was a very, very iconic pay-per-view, one of the most important WrestleManias of all time, and one of the most special WrestleManias of all time. Like, we got this cool graphic. But how did we get there? Well, we got there from Eddie Guerrero versus Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle and Eddie put on a banger of a match. Look, I done lost my breath on that. They put on a banger though. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot make this up. In the end, Kurt had Eddie Guerrero in the ankle lock. Eddie somehow wiggled his way through. Eddie then unloosened his boots, knowing Kurt Angle would go back again for the ankle lock. This time, the boot came off. Eddie slipped out. Eddie was able to go on and win the match. And we then got this iconic photo. The 2009 Bash saw Rey Mysterio take on Chris Jericho for the Intercontinental Championship. Their chemistry was amazing, right? Prior to this match, their last PLE, Chris Jericho took off Rey Mysterio's mask and rolled him up, allowing him to then capture the Intercontinental Championship. So how did Rey know better for this PLE? Well, I'll tell you, Rey wore 2 masks. Knowing that Chris Jericho would do it again, it caught Chris Jericho by surprise, allowing Rey to then capitalize on the moment, and Rey was able to then take back his Intercontinental Championship. Yeah, this finish was pretty creative, it's pretty iconic, and we still come back and revisit this moment to this day. Last but certainly not least, this is one of my favorite moments. This probably wasn't even a creative finish. I just love this moment so much, and I always come back and it always calls back to me. No Way Out 2008. John Cena versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. John Cena and Randy, everybody knows, are one of the most iconic feuds of our past generation. They've had countless matches with deciding victories on both ends. But this match was funny, especially at the end, because even John Cena struggled hard to stay in character. John was building up momentum towards the end of the match, and it looks like he was getting ready to capitalize on the Apex Predator, Randy Orton. And Randy, instead of giving up, decided to smack the referee in the face. John froze because he's like, what the hell did you do that for? Even the ref looked at him like, what the hell? And he called a disqualification, allowing Randy to retain the WWE Championship. Randy started smiling and pretty much about on the verge of laughing. John even looked at him for a minute and he was about to break character. Yeah, this finish was pretty creative because instead of a normal finish and the fear of losing his WWE Championship, he did what any smart heel would do. What does Michael Cole say at the beginning of every title match? Championship advantage. Pinfall and submission is the only way to take the belt off of the champion unless otherwise stipulated. Let me just say Randy took full force and full advantage of that. But hey, did I miss any? Did I miss any that you think about to this day? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed the video, smash that like button. Turn the post notification bell. Well, first you gotta subscribe to do that. Make sure you do that. Go ahead and subscribe first and then turn the post notification bell. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.